Mono red versus Kenrath. I think the algorithm's having a bit of a moment here. Seriously. Kenrath. I've not actually seen this since I played in Hellq. Pretty sure he's in Hellq, right? Kenrath. Am I saying this right? Okay. Sure thing. We're gonna lose. It is strange. Eomer is matching very badly against ridiculously powerful opponents. Unless his deck is ridiculously powerful, but I just don't think it is. And if it is really strong, then why aren't I matching against other red decks like myself? Why am I only being matched against 5-color control decks? Bit strange, right? Let's cycle this to draw a card. Okay. So depending on what they play next turn, I'm super tempted to go for Brotherhood's End to destroy all, well, deal 3 damage to each creature, because if they go for like a mana rock, a mana dork or 2, it's very tempting to blow them all up, which is exactly what they've done. Interesting. I wonder how much we're going to slow them down here. Let's attack first. Intriguing. Okay. Taking all the damage. We can even ramp. 3 damage. Let's see if this resolves. It does. Slows them down a bit. Down to 17. When they get Kenrath out, we could be in a bit of trouble. I say could. We are going to be. Matilda. Now, interestingly, the Soul Film works really well here. Because with Sweltering Suns, this is going to deal 6 damage to each creature our opponents control. To an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, it deals double damage. So if they do go for Kenrath, oh my goodness. So now I'm thinking, do we do this now? Or do we just wait a bit longer? Oh, this is so greedy, isn't it? Oh, this is so greedy.
Fight like you're so
Okay, let's make a devil.
my army ever grows.
Okay, so the cool thing is, if this devil dies, it deals 2 damage to any target as long as Solfim's here. And also, with 1 red mana open, we can even discard 2 cards to make him indestructible if we really want to. Which is looking really tempting right now. Unless they choose an exile effect. Pyromancer's familiar. Oh my goodness, they're giving us some really good hits here. And they can still go for Kenrath. Oh my god, and a Zerda. 8-8. No trample. Man, this is weird. I feel like they're just putting a lot of eggs in one basket. Okay. I'm going to do this now. That feels pretty good. Down to 15. Okay, let's start ticking up the Zariel then. Because if we can get her to ultimate, I think they're just dead, right? They're at 6. How the heck did we kill all this stuff? And where the heck is their 5th land? What? I mean, the fact we faced Kenneth in the first place is strange, but man, they missed their 5th land. Crazy. Okay, got some really tough opponents with this. Hand is okay, I think. Although the Cathartic Reunion... maybe, like, if we discard creatures, the Scarab God could weaponize them against us. But maybe we're too quick for them. Sulfim, is that something we need? Extra damage? Although we do have the Brittle Blast, which does kill the Scarab God. So maybe this is a good keep. I think this is a keep, actually. I think the logic is if you have one removal spell for the opponent's commander, then at least you can last a couple turns after they've cast it, hopefully. Right, let's see how we do here. Probably go for the Dreadhawk Arcanist next turn. Shambling Ghast. 3 toughness on this guy is pretty good. Means we can attack in and don't have to worry too much about the repercussions, because this can deal 1 damage and then give -1 counter to one of our creatures. They have the kill spell, okay. So they've already got 1 thing they can reanimate, which is a fantastic target for them. Crypt Breaker. Intriguing. Discarding cards to create zombies. So we're looking for a board wipe now. Yeah, board wipe would be very handy right about now, although it's not exactly our speciality. They've got 3 zombies as well, which means they can tap 3 to draw a card. Okay, so it's just straight up zombie tribal. Unfortunately, we're going to have to use this to exile Midnight Reaper to stop them getting advantage here. Also, the reason Brittle Blast is good is it puts a stamp on all their creatures, which means that if these die, they now are exiled, which means the Shambling Ghast will not get any triggers when it dies. Okay. So Eomer already has haste. So I think we go for the Sulfim. And with the 1 red open, we can protect Sulfim from destruction as well by discarding 2 cards, but the Black Blade Reforged is looking pretty damn good here. If they go for the Scarab God, we can just use the Rebel Salvo to kill it, and we could even go for the Black Blade Reforged first to reduce the cost of this to 1 red, because it has affinity for equipment, which is ridiculously good. Okay. So not an amazing scenario, but okay, let's go for this. And loses indestructible. It doesn't have indestructible, but let's get rid of it anyway. And maybe I think actually we should have gone for the Thundering Rebuke first, shouldn't we? Because this is not guaranteed 5 damage if Sulfim dies. That's okay. We'll equip the Shadow Spear and swing in here. So they're going to get that back in their hand next turn, which means they'll have to spend another 5 mana recasting it. So we'll see what they do. And the Karlach gives us a few options later on as well. First Strike, Specialize. When it specializes in your graveyard, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. So they're going to make us discard a card. We can use ability in the graveyard, so we discard that. That is interesting, isn't it? That is cool. And then it becomes a 4/4. Target creature. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. If they kill this, they get something that becomes a copy of any creature in a graveyard as well. Oh no. And then now they're going to be able to kill it. So what are they going to become a copy of? They could become a copy of anything. Ooh, that's gross. Nothing huge in their graveyard, it's just ours. Three, 4, 5. They're thinking about attacking into this. They're not going to do it. They'd rather block. Interesting. Because this has trample. And Black Blade Reforged. Wow, that they're going to have to block, aren't they? That is actually ludicrously good. So we've got 6 mana, so we can't do Eomer and... This is Trample. So how much would that be? 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Maybe we just go for Eomer plus... Give him... Oh, that's so awkward. I think we just equip. And then if we rebuke one of these, that's even less toughness. They have no. I think we just attack. 12, 11, lifelink trample. Wow. Okay, so they're going to make a 3-2. And no blocks. Interesting. Do we just use this here? Let's just kill this now. Yeah, I don't want them to just keep making blockers. That is just irritating. Although we now can't deal with the Scarab God, but they can't deal with our 12-11 unless they have a kill spell. Vanquish's Banner. What is going on? I think they've missed a really powerful line here. So if they both attack into the invasion, they can get the Lazartep Convert, which comes in as a copy of a creature in a graveyard, right? So ETBs, they could choose the Direfleet Daredevil, which comes in, and they can target the Abrade, which then kills our Trample. But they didn't see that play, did they? They're now going to die. Oh, no, they do see that play. Okay. But the Abrade doesn't necessarily solve every problem. Okay. What else is annoying if they did? No Chaos Warp here. 5 damage. Yep, so they do see the play. Okay. Literally called play for play. Gonna play even more. That's a 6-5 first strike, which is kind of unbelievable. Or do they kill the Black Blade Reforged? I wonder. Sure, that makes more sense because now they've got the Defender. This creature can't block. Okay. So it can't block, and when it's specialized target creature, it can't block this turn. Discard. So the Dive Fleet can't block. Swing in. We have 40 life somehow. And we take him out with Exacxes. Damn, that was looking a bit hairy, but maybe that was the only way they had out. Who knows? You'll know. Viewers will know. You'll tell me. Right, we go first against Clothis. This is going to be tough because they're going to gain so much life. Not a huge fan of this hand, to be honest. Wow, they really don't want us to have lands, do they? Okay, if we top deck land after land here, we might be okay. Nykthos, I mean it's a land, right? Cool thing is next turn we can double bolt, and also exiling stuff from our own graveyard is nice because it means they don't get to take advantage of it. And then we'll go for the Krenko. If we can keep Krenko alive, my god, this is going to be a quick game. Do they have a kill spell for Krenko? This just gets out of control so quick. Goblin Ruin Blast, so they're going to kill the Nykthos. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So we did hit a land. Sure, let's get rid of the blocker. Nice. I mean, normally I'd be quite annoyed they've killed our land, but we are about to go off with the goblin. I mean, let's see if they have a board wipe. If they do, we're going to have to reevaluate here. Clothis. Okay, so they do not have... Oh, Scavenging Ooze. We definitely want to kill that. We're getting very lucky with our kill spells here. Yeah, go for Koth. Kill the Scavenging Ooze. We could have used a Lava Core to exile it, but this is nice because it's using our mana a bit more efficiently. Whoa. They're going to struggle to kill us. Again, a board wipe would just eradicate us, but... Look at that. Just, lovely. Beautiful. Okay, opponent goes first with Emoji. Man, we are facing some tough decks this deck. We're getting like tier 1 opponents, and I'm not really sure why that is, but... We'll keep this because the Wily Goblin gives us treasure. Going second does sting, because we need to hit them with everything we have as fast as we can. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Good movie, by the way, if you've not seen that. With Michelle Yeoh, who's a wonderful actress. Tangled Florahedron. Okay, so we're going to kill that. So we deal 2 damage and we'll put that in the bin. It's not very interesting right now. Okay, the next turn maybe we can go for the Lannery Storm. Get ourselves some treasures along the way. Growth Spiral. See, if we'd gone first, this would be very, very different here. If all their spells are just ramp spells, that's good for us because it means less stuff to deal with later, I suppose, but... The interesting thing about Emoji decks is they don't seem to run counters, probably because the reason that is, if they cascade into a counter, it's just terrible, it doesn't do anything. So the deck doesn't actually use any, but the issue is it's so powerful without the counters anyway. Oh my goodness, they completely whiffed on the Green Sun Zenith. Twilight, sorry. Oh no, they can reel a creature. Okay, sure. They get a creature. Fine. Yeah, we go for Koth here. Start getting lands. We don't need more kill spells yet. Yeah, just being able to +2 to get a mountain is kind of ludicrous. Every single turn. And then the Lannery Storm is going to give us more treasures. Question is, do we just swap the treasures for the Wily Goblin? Probably, because we get one back and it's an extra 1 damage next turn. So it only costs us 1 treasure, to be honest. And any creatures they play out here, wow, they still don't have that 5th land. That's crazy. Okay, so they will do in the following turn. That's pretty impressive being able to take on an Emoji. Like, if they'd cast Emoji once, they could have just straight up won the game there. Okay, so pro tip, when you're facing a deck that feels insurmountable like this, there's nothing you can do but just forget about it because they might not even get to cast Shelob. That's the hope you can have, because in the long game, let's face it, there's nothing we're going to be able to do against Shelob here. War 2, 8 toughness. We just have to pray. That's all we have. But we're on track to doing good things. The Planeswalker is so good, and I want to thank whoever told me. It was a couple weeks ago. Somebody in the comments told me, I mean, just look at that. We played 2 cards. We beat Shelob. What I was going to say is somebody told me that as long as you have Planeswalkers to support your aggro strategy, it just feels so powerful because a board wipe doesn't just wipe out all your creatures. You still have something left. And that's the important tip of aggro support like this. So as I was saying, just because they have a big 8/8, I would still give it a go and see how you can do, because as you can see, the demoralization factor of these 3 hasty creatures already was enough just to win you the game. And if you're grinding dailies, maybe this is what you need. A fast red deck just to scare them to death without actually killing them. So there you go. Trying something a bit different with this video, because statistically speaking, most of you aren't watching the deck techs. There's a huge dip in viewership when I put the deck tech near the beginning of the video. So let's try the deck tech right at the end of the video, where most people have dropped off anyway, and see how it goes. Tell me what you think in the comments. It shouldn't really affect the game play, because you can skip to whatever part you want anyway. So I do find it weird that people do skip this normally. It's strange given the era of, people being able to select whatever timestamp they want. But here we go. We are looking at Eomer, Marshal of Rohan, and it's going to be interesting this time because although this video, I always do the deck tech before the gameplay, you'll be seeing this after the gameplay. So we'll see how the gameplay differs from what I said. That'll be interesting. But Eomer is pretty cool. A mono red Legends deck is what I've gone for here. So it's a 4 mana, 4/4 haste. Whenever one or more other attacking legendary creatures die, untap all creatures you control. And after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. This ability triggers only once each turn. This is really cool. It's a bit tough to get going though, because it wants you to lose things in combat apart from Eomer. And it's not a black deck, which means you don't really have much selective sacrifice. There's only a couple that I really picked that I thought were good. You can use Witch's Oven during a combat step to sacrifice a legend, which in itself doesn't sound very good, does it? You kind of want to lose the legend to the actual combat damage, but if you get desperate, you can do this. If you've got like loads of creatures out, you can do this to get an extra combat, or you could even use Relic Vial, which is a bit weird, but it's a 3 mana card, 2 mana, sack a creature, draw a card, so it can get you a card back. But it's very odd, very clunky. There are a few other things. There's the altars. One of them can sack a creature to mill, and the other one sacks a creature to get 2 mana. But that mana would only be useful for the combat step, and that would mean you need to have an instant during that phase, and it doesn't even give you red mana. So there you go. So the deck has loads of legends, loads of really cool, powerful creatures. It's a very aggressive curve because you want to kill them as soon as possible. You don't want to be dancing around with like 5 mana, 6 mana spells. We only have 1 ramp artifact rock in the whole deck with Arcane Signet, but there are other cards in the deck that ramps like Strike It Rich. What's some of the coolest legends? We've got Ambergris. Whenever she attacks, you may discard your hand to draw 2. This is really powerful because late game you're going to be low on advantage and you want to get a few cards back. We have Captain Lannery Storm just to ramp us up, as well as Magda, which can also give us treasures. And if you have 5 treasures, you can sack them to get any artifact or dragon into play. There aren't any dragons, but there's a few artifacts to pump up the team's power. We have Andural, which gives you spirits whenever you attack with a equipped creature, which is really strong because attacking with the legends gives you 2 attacking spirits as well, so it's really powerful. Forge of Frontier gives you pro red and green, plays more spells off the top of your deck, and also once in future. Sword lets you surveil 2 and cast stuff from your graveyard. So these are just staples in aggro decks. To round the deck out, we have a few planeswalkers because aggro struggles if it's just creatures. So we've got Zariel, who's quite nice to give your creatures extra haste if your creatures don't have haste. And her ultimate lets you have extra combat steps as well. Koth is just a really good all-star in mono red decks, giving you mountains, letting you deal 4 damage with his ultimate with each mountain play, which is pretty sick. Jaya's here, as well as Chandra, who's probably the best one. She can just pressure your opponent so hard when she lands. But yeah, most of the spells on the deck only deal 3, 4 to 5 damage. You're going to struggle dealing with the big stuff like a Traxxas, but you can probably double spell to kill her. But check out the deck list. It will be in the deck in the description box below. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and yeah, tell me what you think. Deck tech at the end, it probably doesn't make a difference, I don't think, but we'll just see how it goes from now on, see if we can get a bit more viewer retention, and I'll catch you next time. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.